Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another Chase Stories chat. My name is Marcelino Perez, and today I'm joined by my good friend Roabel. Roabel, thank you for joining me today. It's been a while.
Yeah, what's up, man? I love the accent you put on your name too. That just gave me the good chills right there.
Hey, I'm glad. I need to do it more often because when I'm at work and stuff, people usually can't pronounce my name, but I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I need to actually say it how it's supposed to be said and how it's intended.
Right,
Um,
right. I respect that.
Thank you. I've been avoiding Roabel, not actually, but the the workouts
Oh yeah,
for a bit, which is why I'm like long time no see. But that's gonna change. Um, I promise that.
all right. Well, it's recording. I timestamped that at 48 seconds. So uh,
Gosh.
we'll replay that if I don't see you on the attendance sheet.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you can tell Danny too, and she'll keep me accountable as well. Robel and I know each other from St. Mary's College, and we had a lot of mutual friends, although we didn't really spend much time together while at school. But I think post graduating is when we kind of connected more, and especially more in the last year since you started up something really cool. So you want to talk about a bit about yourself, Robel, and who you are and what you do?
Yeah. And like you mentioned, we like had originally met in college. It's kind of crazy that it's going on like 7 years since I've
Yeah,
graduated
dude.
college. Uh, I don't know where the last years went. Like literally in a week, this will be like the start of the whole shutdown. But um, things are looking good. And just like you mentioned, when the pandemic started, uh, I I had like a couple of choices to make, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I was like driving myself crazy during the first 2 weeks, just locked up in my apartment, not being able to go to the grocery store or like get anything besides like takeout. So I started just working out with. I started to like coordinate friends together to work out. Um, just over Zoom. And before going into like that full story, you know, the company I'm building is Virtual Workout Squad, and it really just started. Um, it was incepted through the pandemic. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any equipment. Obviously, I wasn't seeing anybody, and it was at a time where everyone just wanted that interaction, that human element. So people were like, doing Zoom happy hours and things of that sort. After one too many Zoom happy hours, I was just like, this is not right. I can't just be drinking in my house by myself. So, I decided to, like I said, get some friends together to work out, doing really quick 20, 30-minute workouts. And it's really just grown in the last almost year now. Um, April 17th will be like the official year of Virtual Workout Squad.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, it's wild. But it's been really cool just growing a community just centered around fitness.
Mhm.
And it's been awesome. It's been a fun journey and a newly developed passion that I've had during, during what we can probably say objectively has been a very tough time in the country. I just found a way to find some like positivity and light in it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so interesting that, obviously there's been so many tough things over the last year um, with COVID and so many others things, but even with all of that, like it presented an opportunity as well. Um, and it's really it's just what you make of the situation. And I think it's so cool it was born through because of, this adversity and having to be at home. Um, yeah, 7 days a week too. You know it.
Yeah, I got the hat on.
Oh,
Yeah,
you got the hat on too?
I got to rep
Oh,
it
that's sick.
whenever I can. But
That's awesome.
yeah, it's crazy because we not only are offering a free workout every single day, but I've literally been in the workout every single day. So
Yeah.
when we talk about April 17th, that'll be 1 year straight of me like doing a workout on Zoom virtually. And that doesn't include, the stuff that I'm doing off camera too, whether it be
Mhm.
playing, lifting weights, etc. So
Yeah, man.
it's
Killing
crazy to think about that we're getting close to um, the finish line, but you know, in this time, it's not like necessarily a goal that I'm chasing or working towards. This is just who I am as a person. So it's cool to see, and even past a year, I'm going to keep it going, and it's taken me this far, and I know that this is just literally the beginning. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, totally. And do you want to talk a bit about your fitness journey as well? Because obviously it's been a work in progress, and you've kind of shared your story with me as well. But do you want to get into that a little bit?
Yeah. So it was December 2018 where I, finally decided that I am going to try and make a really concerted effort to changing my lifestyle around from a health and wellness perspective. I'd been working in tech and sales and just working really like tough hours and working really hard at work, but it was having a huge effect on me physically. I stopped. I became more sedentary. I didn't go to the gym. I ate terrible, and I was literally, like gaining weight visibly by the week, like literally. So, a friend of mine, he had just been posting on Instagram like pretty consistently over the last few months, whether it be like him meal prepping, whether it be him like lifting weights at the gym, doing cardio, and he would always tag the same person in his post. So one day I just asked him, what is this? Like, what are you doing? And he gave me the whole breakdown. He's like, this is great. I'm on this 12-week program. Guy gives me, a meal plan each week. I have to stay accountable. Like I'm texting him updates every single week with progress pictures, ranking my week on a scale of 1 through 10 on how I did with
Mhm.
everything health and fitness related. And then he was like, bro, like look at these pictures before and after. He was like comparing himself. And I was like, damn, I need this. This is somebody, and Levi, you've interviewed Levi.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I have to do this. Like, this is someone I know, trust, respect, and I'm obviously seeing his results through it. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna give it a shot. And the thing that I was able to, I guess, finesse or whatever you want to call it, my company at the time gave us like an annual stipend for education. So I'm in sales. I was able to like tell my manager how this would, like signing up for this program would relate to, like, would have an educational aspect to it. I was working
Mhm.
at like a food startup company. So he was super chill. And he was like, yeah, fucking do it, whatever. Like, just, make it sound good when you're writing me the request.
Yes.
That, I started, it was like a 20-week program. And I mean, quite frankly, that's what kickstarted everything. I not only, so like when I started, it was like the most difficult thing ever. Like I was literally going from eating like processed food all the time and, ordering out, or ordering in rather, to eating like chicken breasts, broccoli, rice every single day, and like packing my meals and bringing it to work. And I worked at a food startup. So there was like the most bomb food ever
Oh no.
single day, catered lunches. And I'm just sitting there with my colleagues with like a Tupperware every single day, like without fail. So I was dedicated. I was committed to it. It wasn't my money, but money was being spent on this service and utilizing this guy for for providing me with the meal plan, exercise plan, etc., accountability. It started off with just kind of like I think the things we see all over social media where like, I was working towards like a type of body that I wanted to achieve. All of the motivation, I'd say most of the motivation was extrinsic. People going, "Hey, like Roabel, you're looking better. I see you dropping some weight," which feels good.
Yeah.
And I think when you're starting, a journey like that, it's really important to get that validation, to keep you going. I think a lot of times, we try something, we don't see the results right away, we quit. Mm-hmm. So not only was this a very valuable service and an expensive service to somebody, my company at the time that was paying for it, but so I wanted to like see it through, and getting that validation from my peers, family, all that stuff kept me going at first. And then I realized like, holy shit, like not only am I looking better, I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
And I want to keep this going. So that's how my whole fitness journey started. So I did that for 20 weeks. And that spanned from me living in San Francisco at the start of the journey in December 2018. Then I moved to Chicago in April of 2019. So right in the middle of this. And I was like, overall, I was getting a lot better, a lot more in shape, losing a ton of weight, feeling really good. But it was like, I was kind of fluctuating a bit, or not fluctuating, but I mean, I wasn't super consistent. Mm-hmm. I would have like streaks of doing really well and then have these setbacks. And it was tough, but overall, like I was very happy with, where I was getting to. And in that time, I remember this was like right when I started the journey, probably I'd say a month in. I did what I always do when I want to hold myself accountable. I put on social media that I was going to run like a half marathon in 2019. At the time, I remember, because I was logging everything, that when it came to my cardio workouts that I had to track and send to this instructor, nutritionist, whatever you want to call them, I was only able to run for about 20 minutes on a treadmill at 4.5 speed. So that's 4.5 miles per hour, which for those that are trying to figure out like how fast or slow that is, that's about like a very light jog or a very like aggressive walk. And that's all I could do at this time. So I was just like, screw it. We're doing a half marathon. And I put it out. I put it out in front of my whole Instagram following. Not that I have a massive following or anything, but I put it out there, so people, whether they cared or not, I cared. And I just kept posting about running and kept running, and kept putting it on my story. But in that time, and I know I'm going deep into this, I feel like I've been talking for like 10 minutes already, but it's so important to me because in that time, the extrinsic motivation was great. People still acknowledging me, telling me that, I'm doing awesome. Seeing my friends starting to run as well and post it on their story is like cool to see. But the feeling that I was getting inside when running, when exercising, when eating right, it was great. And it's like all of those instances where I decided to run versus, sit on the couch and watch TV, or when I decided to cook a meal and instead of like order out, or if I went out with friends, deciding, at the time to like do like a vodka soda versus a beer, all those instances taught me and got me to the point where I'm at today, where I have a completely different relationship with health and fitness. And It really accelerated during the pandemic when I started Virtual Workout Squad. So I'll kind of pause there so I can catch my breath a bit because I don't really
Take some deep breaths, that cardio, you know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if this
Well,
was 2018, I would have stopped talking like 6 minutes ago. But
well, I
yeah,
mean, from what it sounds like, it just sounds like you know, at the start, like you said, it was that extrinsic, that validation, and then it was essentially a lifestyle change, and it became just a part of who you are, and you continuing to do it, um, which I think is so important. And the consistency piece is the biggest thing because you know it's just building good habits and being able to create and do those good habits, and you know it will translate to so many great things in the long run. Like you already, I mean, obviously exercising, but you know, sleeping well, eating well, drinking water, being consistent with all those really plays such a huge part of your daily life, and you don't realize it until you start doing it, and then you're like, oh shoot. This is how I probably should be feeling all the time. I probably shouldn't be feeling so sluggish or whatever, which I think is so cool. And I also have difficulties at times just staying consistent. I know over the summer when Roabel like first, no, it was Kareem who first introduced me to Virtual Workout Squad, and I remember the first one I did. I'm pretty sure I almost threw up, and I had to turn off my screen on the side so I could dry heat for a bit.
I remember. I remember.
Yeah, but I mean, like, and after that, I was just really consistent, and then you know life kind of happened and I got away from it. But trying again to build up those good habits now that I'm in a different space. I know that when we first talked, I think I was in North Carolina at the time, and we did our first chat because we're doing a second one. This is sort of like an updated one. And now I moved to got my own place now with two roommates here in the Bay in San Carlos, which I'm really loving, and having that um, my own sort of personal space compared to where I was before is really great and has helped me. But it got me away from where I was, which is where you know I had my own little routine, and it's now developing those good routines again and getting back into it, which I'm really excited for. And just like you posted on social media about running, I recently posted on social media too. My brother just recently is getting back into running and wanting to get back into shape because they got a treadmill at my parents' place, and he's been sending me screenshots of his mile time every day, which I think is like so funny and cute at the same time. And to motivate him, like, hey, do you want to do a challenge for the month of March? He's like, yeah, I'm down. And I said, let's see how far down we can cut down, or we can cut our mile time by the end of the month. And so this is sort of like my way to like really kind of push him as well, and push myself and keep myself accountable too. So I posted it on social media as well, and including other people just like you did in terms of the running side. So I'm really excited to see where this all goes and getting back into running. And I'm excited to get back into the Virtual Workout Squad part as well, because I need that too. I think it's going to be important in the long run. Plus, I've got some side bets going, so I need to actually win this and run really well. Otherwise, I'm down a bottle of tequila, which is not a.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's for a lot of people, and I'd say probably most people, that's the best way to do it. It's like, you know, just find a way to get motivated. And if that's a bottle of tequila, if that's posting to be competitive with your brother or friends,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's what it takes. And over time, I think you kind of just start to fall in love with like the process around it. Like, you know, and it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm running because of this goal. It's I'm running because I'm a runner. That's what I do. And that way, you know, I think what we also can fall into sometimes is like, all right, we hit our goal, right? Whatever goal that we set, great. Now what? And then what we do is we tend to just fall back into our regular or old routines because our body knows that. It understands that you don't have to think about that, right? So I think that that's something that's really important just in general. Like if when it comes to fitness, especially when it comes to setting those goals, as you are working towards that goal, and this is what I had to do or what I did do it's like, all right, I'm getting closer to the goal. What's next? And you're always just pushing it a little bit further and further and further until these aren't goals anymore. This is my life. This is what I do. So you don't have to even think about it. And I think that's really cool because it's so funny because whether it's like my family or my friends that just like ask me, if I'm working out, like for example, I'm at home right now in the Bay Area with my parents, and my mom asks me like pretty much every day, like, "Hey, are you doing a workout today?" I'm just like, "Yes." Like, why? Like, what do you like? Read my hat, read my shirts, like that. Yes, this is what I do, and it's so like I love that like it's just so routine to me. Where
Mm-hmm.
like someone asking me that is like me asking you, Marcelino, like, are you going to brush your teeth when you get up? Like the answer, like you would look at someone crazy, right?
Oh, I
You
thought I was like, oh shoot, I didn't answer that. Yes.
uh, but it's just like, yeah, like, or like, are you going to breathe today?
Mm-hmm.
Of course I am. Like, why are you asking that? And I was in Tahoe this weekend um, with some friends, and we were going snowboarding, and the mountains open at 8:30, but I had VWS at 9, so it was like, guys, you can just go without me. That's totally fine because they were asking me the whole time up from the bay, like, oh, are you going to do your workout? It's at 9, but the mountain's open at 8. And I was like, yeah. Am I going to do my workout? Like, I wouldn't have came up here if I didn't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how serious this is. Like,
Mhm.
because this is what I do. So it's really like when I sit back and think about that, like it's just the best feeling in the world that this is who I'm becoming and this is who I am.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And I think probably the coolest part and what I really loved about it, VWS, is just the community building side. And like consistently, you've got people going in, and it's really a really tight knit group, I feel like, which I think is incredible. Do you want to talk a bit about sort of, I mean, you already got into a little bit about how it started and sort of the idea behind it, but let's get in. Could you talk a bit more about that in detail and what it's been like starting this from the get go and seeing it grow too?
Yeah, I mean, just using the word community, that's what it's all about. Like, even when you talked about, your brother and you communicating and interacting over your mile times, like when it comes to fitness, it's so much easier to do it together and as a group when you're working towards something. You might have different goals. Your thing may be running a mile. Your brother's thing may be like upping that to 2 miles and then 3 miles, but like you guys are still like striving towards the same thing. And when I started VWS back last April, that was so important to me because I wasn't going to work out in my apartment by myself without anybody. That's why I started texting my friends and like trying to gather a group together because I firmly believe that when it comes to achieving any goals in life, it doesn't have to be just fitness. It's so much easier and better to do it as a team. We work best in teams. So that's like embedded in Virtual Workout Squad, the community aspect of it. It was the reason why, in the beginning, I made it a point that I had to be there every single day. Like everyone had to see me because, when it comes to leading a community and being a part of a community, you have to be present. So that's always been super important. That's how Virtual Workout Squad is going to continue to build and grow. And it's really cool because now, when I log into class, I'd say the majority of people, overwhelming majority, probably 90% of the people that are in our classes, I have never met them in person. I have never known them before the pandemic, but we're fostering these virtual relationships through fitness, which is just obviously what I'm passionate about. So it's just awesome to see. And I'm really excited to keep working on building and developing and growing that community aspect of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually insane that, you haven't met a lot of these people, but you still obviously have that community and those friendships and ties now through fitness, which I think is so cool and so fun. And it's in this digital age that's, like this was unheard of before. And now this is almost becoming the norm. And it's pretty damn cool to be able to connect with so many people through something like this. Um,
Yeah.
what have been some highlights for you so far on this journey, whether it be like your fitness jersey or through VWS?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say personally, I'll start there.
Mhm.
Uh, it's just so like when I think about it and what I've been able to do every single day, like I think it's so crazy that where I am going to be at the same time every single day for the last almost year. Like you don't even have to question that. You don't like my sister would get onto virtual workout squad just so that because I didn't like respond to her call or text because she knew I'd be there. And we just like, talk right after class for a bit. And it's because I'm not like the best with my phone. So that's been pretty cool personally to just think about because what I know I'm doing now, and a lot of us don't know, is that when you're so consistent with something and you're building those habits, like you're just retraining your brain. And when it comes to like feats that you never thought were possible, you're just unlocking mental barriers.
Mhm.
So I get really excited about that because there was a time where I didn't think I could run a half marathon, but I said it. There was a time where, prior to COVID, I had never worked out 7 days of my life. Now I'm at 325 days in a row. So that's just been so exciting to me personally that I've been able to do that. And on the VWS side, it's just so amazing. Anytime that someone reaches out, emails, DMs, and says like the impact that virtual workout squad has had on them, especially now. Now that we have like a light at the end of the COVID tunnel with vaccine access, I think, when we were at the height of the pandemic, where people were feeling like helpless and feeling like, it could very well be depressing for a lot of people being stuck at home, not being able to interact and engage with people, where VWS have been the highlight of their days. And, all the love that I've received on like what virtual workout squad means to people and how it's helped them physically, mentally. It's really cool. I don't take it for granted. It's just awesome. Seeing new faces come on, asking where people found us, how they found us. There have been few people like internationally that have worked out. And I'm just like, what? Like when I actually, this started as a text message thread with just a few friends. And now people from like different parts of the world are coming and joining our classes. It's so cool. Like I just get goosebumps thinking about it. And so I think that from the VWS side has just been the most awesome thing. And it's so early and there's so much I need to learn still that I just know if I keep working at it every single day, like it's going to get better. It's going to get bigger. I'm going to work like closer towards my mission. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I want to share one of my highlights too. It was probably when you were in the Bay, or well, now you're in the Bay, but when you first came to visit the Bay, and then we did some in person classes. That was really cool, I thought. And really, well, first of all, seeing all these people that I'd seen on screen in person, I'm like, well, you're a real person, first of all. Um,
Right.
yeah, you're more than just like half your body or like your face for the most part. And then seeing obviously the support and the love, and then that we're going to go back to that word again, community that you've built. I thought was so cool, and I didn't work out that day because I was taking pictures, but or maybe it was an excuse, who knows? But
They were great photos, by the way.
but I thought that was so cool, and I was just kind of thinking, what is sort of your, not a goal, but what's sort of your idea now that like you were saying, there is sort of this light at the end of the COVID tunnel? Will it be continuing to do things online? Will you try to do them mostly in person, since there are a lot of people in the Bay Area who are part of this, or a mixture? What have you thought of?
That's a great question, and it's literally what I'm in the process of figuring out now. I think where my heart and my mind like kind of conflict is that in my mind I feel very strongly about virtual and online fitness and working out from home being maybe not the predominant way that people work out, but it will be more widely considered moving forward. However, I think that during this time, with just like the anxiety and the want to just be out and about, like especially once people start getting vaccines, I think that virtual and online fitness is going to just take a dip for a while, because of the excitement of just being able to be out again. So I want to look into offering a mix of both, because my goal is to be back in the Bay Area, forever. Or I guess for the time being, I won't throw forever out there.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to that. But I want to, I'm figuring out logistics on how to offer in-person classes in the Bay Area, but also, like I said, there are people from all over the country, some people from out of the country that are sweating with us online, and I don't want to take that away. So I think it's going to be a mix of both, and probably, me just expending a little bit more time and energy to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. I know for myself, I've never really been a big gym person either. And having someone guiding the workout was really nice as well. And being able to do it from my home as well was really convenient too, which I really enjoyed. So I do like the idea of doing a mixture, but like you said, it would be a bit more time and work, but I think it'd be worth it in the long run.
Right. So that's the goal. But I've been really just focusing on, talking to the people in the squad, understanding what they want, what they don't want, what they like, what they don't like, figuring out how I can build this and make this the best possible offering for the squad. Because, we go back to that word community. It's not necessarily what I want out of it. I know that's how I built BWS, but I have to be a lot more conscious and a lot more open to hearing what people want and figuring out if I can find some synergies with how I'm trying to build this. So,
totally.
Yeah.
So, long term, in an ideal world, how do you see VWS?
I see it being the largest virtual fitness community in the world. That's the plan. I know that it's going to take a lot of work, and I know that there are a lot of people ahead of me right now in doing that. But I said it already. Like when when you've overcome barriers, whether it be mental or physical, you tend not to think of anything standing in your way of accomplishing what you want. So that's the goal. That's the plan. Don't know how I'm going to get there yet, but just going to keep working 7 days a week and make it happen.
Yeah, man, the consistency piece, and nothing's built in one day either. It's obviously, it takes time. I know for myself and this podcast thing too, I'm like, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the numbers game and wanting to see rapid improvement. And that could be as well like, yesterday I went on a run and I'm trying to improve my mile time, like I said earlier. And I was doing intervals essentially of a quarter mile. And each time I'm like, fuck, my quarter mile hasn't gotten down yet. And I'm like, I've been really going hard and actually focusing on wanting to do this for about 2 days.
Right.
And I already want to see results. And that's not how life works. It's about the consistency piece. It's about, day by day, step by step, and being able to put in that hard work. And then eventually, yes, you start seeing it. And then a lot of the time too, it becomes sort of like a rapid growth, but you really have to put in that time and effort and consistency in the beginning to get to that point. And then things just sort of fall into place, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, literally what our slogan 7 days a week is about. It's I think one piece though to add to it is just having that confidence in yourself, that even if you're not necessarily seeing it, like your mind, your body, it's taking those logs, it's taking those notes, it understands that you're in the process of getting better. And if you keep working at it and have the confidence that you know what you're doing is the right thing, then it will work out. And the cool thing is that, at least through my experience, that spills over to everything that you do. So, even if you are let's just say you're not the best teacher right now. Not saying that. I'm sure you're a phenomenal teacher, but you know that in order to be the greatest teacher is like, one, you have to, understand the newest curriculum and be able to study that. You need to be very good at putting lesson plans together, understanding what students are receptive to, what they're not receptive to. How do you teach a certain type of student versus another? Everything, like how you structure your days, your weeks, your months, whatever the case may be. And when you have confidence in that, you may not be the best at it yet, but if you keep working towards those things, then you will. And that's how you get to where you want to be in anything that you do. So confidence is key. And it's a major component to getting to wherever you want to go.
Yeah, for sure. Roabel, let's say, so I know that I've kind of recommended some friends as well. But if I am reaching out to someone new who's never heard of Virtual Workout Squad and they're like, oh yeah, like there's all these other online things. What do you think really sets the Virtual Workout Squad apart from all these other things online that I could probably find too?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think the most important thing is, like, for me to be honest with it, like, we're not reinventing the wheel. I mean, we're a community and we work out every single day. You can find that everywhere. But I think that one thing that I've heard that people love about Virtual Workout Squad is that from the instructors to the peers in class, there's this connection where people really feel like others want them to win and get better, and have like a care for them as a person in their journey. And I think that's pretty unique. And I guess, based on our actual offering, which is a live class every single day, not too many that I've seen, actually none that I can really think of, that offer a free class every single day. And I think when you couple that with the instructors caring and your peers caring about you, and your success in your journey, in your physical fitness journey, without receiving or expecting any compensation for it, I think that speaks to people, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, because at the end of the day, any of our instructors, which they already do, can be making a lot of money teaching fitness classes. And, I think why they continue to come back is because the people in the class, and it's just kind of this cyclical, the instructors love teaching Virtual Workout Squad. the people in virtual workouts love the instructors and how what they're bringing to the table, knowing that they're giving everything that they have, and not being paid by the students for it. And I think that just shows a lot of character, and that really, I think that's really one thing that I guess makes us stand out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. And you can totally feel it. I know that for a fact from being a part of it. You can definitely feel that connection between the instructors, the students, and just everything in general, as you said. Do you have currently any? I know you talked about originally wanting to run a half marathon. Do you have any personal fitness goals or things in mind that you'd like to do in the near future?
Yeah, I'll be running a full marathon this year.
Oh,
So that's that. But other than that, there's nothing really. Um, there's no real like tangible goal that I have with fitness. I think that's just kind of a culmination of everything I've done over the past, 2.5 years since December 2018, where
mhm.
I don't necessarily have these fitness goals or to get to X weight. It's just, this is what I do. I am someone who is physically active and fit. So my life, I wouldn't say my life revolves around it, but it's incorporated into who I am and what I do on a day to day. So uh,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't know when I'll stop doing a workout. We'll cross that bridge, on April 17th this year. So uh, I can't even imagine like taking a day off, but we'll see when that time gets there.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, might as well just keep going for the rest of your life. Um,
Right? What's a day?
yeah, what is a rest day? We don't believe in those.
Right.
Rebel, what would you like the listeners and whoever's viewing this as well? What would you like them to take out of your story in our chat?
Oh man, how much time do we have? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
No.
we have quite a bit of time actually, so go
Um,
into it.
well, I think I'll start from like the virtual workout squad perspective.
Mhm.
For me, just who I am as a person, I love to I love to get people bought into, what I'm quote unquote selling. And as I built virtual workout squad, I've learned to understand that, other people are going to do what's right for them. And virtual workout squad may not always be the best place for them. So I have been able to compartmentalize that. And I think the most important thing is if it's not us that you're sweating with every day, or 4 days a week or whatever your schedule is, just stay physically fit and active. Not only is it going to help you physically, but it's so like monumental to your mental health as well. So that's what I would say as kind of my parting thought on the virtual workout squad front. And I think personally, uh, we talked about this a lot today, but it really just comes down to eliminating these mental barriers that we all have. Everybody has it, no matter who you are. And I think that as you work towards certain goals, it's really important to be mindful that you're doing these things, but not to stop there, to always push the ball forward a little bit more, because what's going to happen is, your mind, you're collecting notes, you're collecting these subconscious notes on what you can do and what's possible. And you get to stretch that limit. And it's such a great feeling when you know that like nothing can actually stop you from doing what you want to do. And at the end of the day, it's just a matter of, do I want to do this or not? And you got to be careful with that, because you can't just say you don't want to do anything, because you're lying to yourself, right?
Yeah.
But it's really saying that, like, hey, if I want to go build a rocket ship, like I know that I can do it. I just have to have confidence in myself. I need to study what I need to do, and I need to be consistent and do that every single day and repeat those same things. I think that if we really focus on that, and not like when you're first starting out, not necessarily looking at this far end goal and saying, wow, like I'm not going to be able to climb to the top of that mountain. Let me just not do that. Let me not start walking. I think it's really important to really remind yourself in the beginning that as long as you just keep taking those steps and you don't stop moving, no matter how slow you're moving up that mountain, it will pay off. Mm-hmm. And over time, it's not like the mountain goes away, but you just manage how you're walking up that mountain. You understand that it hurts, but you know that you can get there. And I think that takes time to develop, but once you do, literally anything is possible. And I think that's something that I've learned in the past 2.5 years. And it's really fucking cool. Excuse my language, but whenever I think about it, I just get so excited that I can literally do anything I want to do. So
no need to apologize for cussing. I always fucking cuss on this show. Yeah. I think what really just resonated with me is the idea. Sometimes you just need to fucking start. Now I'm just going to go on a cussing storm too. You just need to start. It's all about just starting. And I know for myself, it doesn't even have to be just working out, just any project, anything whatsoever that's on your mind that you want to do. Just get it started. You don't have to know everything about it. You don't need to, have it perfect from the get-go. You can do it as time goes on. Like you said, little by little, you're climbing up that mountain. But if you don't ever start, it'll never happen. And I know for myself in this podcast and this whole project, I had it in the works and the idea for several years now, but I just never started it. And now that it's finally getting it going and trying to be consistent with it like you are and, working out and all that, I'm starting to see the gears grind in and new ideas forming from all of this, which I think has been so awesome for myself, and being able to talk with really incredible people like yourself and many others has really just opened up so many opportunities, ideas, and I've learned so much as well from these sorts of chats. So thank you for being a part of it. I really appreciate it, and your friendship too.
Yeah, no, of course, man. I think it's great what you're doing. I know when you first brought this to the table last year, I was super stoked on it, and the stories that you're trying to that you're in the process of telling from people all over, from different walks of life. And I think that's really awesome. And it just shows that no matter who you are, what you look like, where you're from, you can do whatever it is that you want. You can chase your story. And, I'm really doing that. And I think that you nailed it right on the head. Just do it. Just get started. It doesn't have to be perfect. I struggle with that a lot. Mm-hmm. But you learn so much in that process that that's way more valuable than trying to have all your ducks in a row and do it right. Because what we don't realize is that when it fucks up, then that's way more discouraging than you just going for it and learning and iterating. So totally +1 what you said.
Yeah. What is the best way for myself and the listeners to support you and what you're doing?
Yeah, we do it every day. So what I'd say is just go to virtualworkoutsquad.com, VWS, same Instagram handle at Virtual Workout Squad. You'll see our schedule for the week. What I do is I just post how to register every Monday morning for classes. And we have the same times every single day without fail. So these are all West Coast, Mondays at 4, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5, Wednesdays in the morning at 8:30 a.m., Fridays at lunch, 12 o'clock, and then Saturdays and Sunday bright and early at 9 a.m. So that's where I'll be every single day. So whoever you are listening, if you ever have trouble getting in contact with me. That's how you will for sure find me. 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And please go check it out. And I'll make sure to include it in the description for this video and for the podcast as well. So when it comes out, you all will be able to check it out and hopefully find me there as well, unless I'm trying to hide. But
and if you guys are still listening to this point, go back to second 48 in this interview. That's where Marcelino said that he will be there. So if you do care about Marcelino's health and well-being, make sure to hold him accountable to timestamp 48 seconds.
Yes, I'm gonna. If you tell me you are going to go, I will for sure show up too. So let's make it happen. Let's get everybody going there also.
And that's how you grow the community, right?
Exactly. All right. Awesome, Roabel. Seriously, thank you so much for you spending your time and being a part of this and for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And it was so nice to just catch up with you in general.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Keep up the great work with it. And I'm excited to see what happens with Chase Stories this year.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I'll show up to a class. Hopefully I don't throw up this time, or maybe I will at this point.
Hey, just have that camera off or on. It's all good.
Document it.
No judgment zone.
All right, man. Well, thank you for tuning into Chase Stories Chats. If you enjoyed and want to find more, follow along at Chase Stories on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and let me know what you thought of the chat. And if you'd like to be involved, please reach out through chasestories.com.